Good evening, boys and girls. Today I will interpret word problems involving decimals so I can add and subtract decimals, and I have it when I can correctly solve word problems. So we've been working on adding and subtracting decimals, and now this is when we have a multi-step problem and we have some more word problems. So it says Alana had $10 to spend at Wawa. She ordered a breakfast sandwich for $4.58 and a donut for $1.20. How much change did she receive? So the thing that we need to realize is we need to see how much does Alana start with. Alana starts with $10, and you see I have it in word form instead of standard form. She spent $4.57 and $1.20, and I'm curious about how much change did she receive. So I know this is going to be a multi-step problem, and I have a couple different ways I can solve this. Number one, I can combine how much she saved, or how much she spent, and subtract it from my $10. Or I can take my $10, take away the breakfast sandwich, and then the donut. I'm going to do both ways here. So I have 4.58, 4 and 58 hundredths, 1 and 20 hundredths. Going to add that. That's going to give me 578 is how much she spent. Need to check that, so subtract 120 from that. And that does match my original one, so I'm good there. So now I have to take this 578 and take that away from my $10. So when I put my $10, subtract it from my 578, I see I don't have decimal place values at all in my $10 because it's just a whole number. So I just add in my zeros, because as we know we can add in as many as we'd like. And now I'm going to subtract, and subtraction rules say the same. I can't take anything away from 0, so I need to exchange some of my place values. This becomes a 10, and then a 9. This gets a value of 10, and then a 9, and then that gets to be a 10. So 10 minus 8 is 2, 9 minus 7 is 2, drop down my decimal, 9 minus 5 is 4. Now I just want to double check that, so I'll add my 578. That gives me carry up. So that is one way I could do it. And I made sure I checked each step as I went along, so I didn't have to do much of checking at the end. The other way I could do it is start with my $10, subtract my breakfast sandwich, and then go from there. So again, I need to add in my decimal place values. My subtraction rules still stay the same. I'm still exchanging my place values. And so I'm going to have 2 there, I'm going to have 4 and 5. I'm going to add to check that. And now I take my 542 and I subtract out 120, and I end up with 422. Let's just double check that. So no matter which way I do it, whether I do it subtracting items from my $10 or I add my items and then subtract from my $10, each way I got $4.22 for change. This is your pause and solve problem. You are welcome to solve it either way you'd like, and I will be modeling both. So pause this and solve it, please. Hopefully you've had a chance to solve this. So I see that he wants to draw 16 characters. He drew 3.7 one day. He did 4 and 37 thousandths. So I'm going to do it the method in which I add how much he's drawn first and then take it away from 16. So 3.7, 3 and 7 tenths, 4 and 37 thousandths, making sure that my 37 is my thousandths place. This is how much he's drawn. I need to put in some of my placeholder zeros. 7, 3, 7, 7. Let's subtract to double check that. So I'm going to take away 3.700, and that gives me 4. So I'm good here. So this is how much he's drawn, I'm going to take that away from 16. See how much is left to draw. And I see I don't have any decimal place values, so I need to go ahead and add those in. We need to do some exchanging of place values. And I will get a total, or a difference of, I just did 15 minus 7 there. Now when I add to check, I get 16. So my one answer I had was 8 and 263 thousandths. Let's do it a second way. So in this method, I'll start with my 16 that he wants to draw. I'm going to take away my 3.7 that he drew on Monday, add in my decimal place value. This might be a little easier in this case because I don't have to add so many decimal place values. So I go ahead and I need to exchange a place value, and I've got a difference of 3 there, and then 15 minus 3 is 12. To double check this, I'll add in my 3.7. That's going to give me 16. So now I take my 12.3, I subtract my 4 and 37 hundredths, and my place holder zeros, exchange my place values just like normal subtraction, and then I end up with 12 minus 8 is 8, or 12 minus 4 is 8, add in my 4.37 hundredths, and I end up with 12, so I know, again, no matter which way I did it, I ended up with 8 and 263 thousandths. And that is going to bring us to our Bring Back to School problem. Here you do have a word problem for you, and I would like you to solve this. Make sure your final answer is circled very clearly so when I'm checking it, if you want to challenge yourself, do it both ways. And I will see you in the morning.